The silent cell. The air inside the cell was dry, hot, and smelled of old blood. Lorena sat against the wall, her arms wrapped around her knees. She had not spoken in 3 days. No one to speak to, no reason to speak. Her people had left her here, locked in a concrete box under the burning sky. The walls were cracked. Smoke drifted in through the ceiling vents. The base above was burning. She could hear the fire crackling, feel the heat even down here. The last time she saw anyone, it was a soldier shutting the door on her. They told her to wait for punishment. She didn't cry anymore. Her body had no more water for tears. Then, a sound. She looked up. It wasn't the roar of fire. It wasn't metal breaking or machines screaming. It was footsteps. Slow, heavy. 1 step, 2 steps. Boots. Human boots. Lorena's heart jumped, but she stayed still. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe she was hearing ghosts. She didn't trust her mind anymore. The door creaked. The sound made her flinch. No one was supposed to open that door again. But the metal door moved, slow and rough, and light from the burning hallway spilled in. A shape entered. Tall, broad, armored, human. He didn't say anything. He looked around the cell, then at her. His eyes were sharp, scanning her face. She tried to speak, but her throat made only a dry rasp. The man walked toward her. Not fast, not slow. Careful. Lorena pressed her back to the wall, weak, ready to be killed. Humans hated her kind. She had been part of the enemy forces once. Maybe this was justice. But instead of raising a weapon, the man knelt. He took out a small packet from his belt and placed it on the ground in front of her. Then he opened it. Water. He held it out without a word. She stared at it. Her body screamed. Yes, but her mind asked why. He didn't force her, just waited. His eyes were calm. She reached out with shaking hands, took the water, and drank. Then she coughed. He took another thing from his belt, a thermal cloth, and wrapped it around her shoulders. His movements were strange. Not military, not cruel. Just quiet. Can you walk? He finally asked. His voice was low, rough, but not harsh. She nodded, barely. Good, he said, standing again. We don't have long. Lorena didn't understand. He came to help? Why? She tried to ask, but only a soft, why, came out. Because you're not supposed to die here, he said. Not like this. He turned and looked at the door. Then, without another word, he stepped out. Lorena hesitated. Her legs were weak. Her body was broken. But her soul, which had accepted death, now had a question. Who was this man? Why did he care? She stood up slowly. Every part of her ached. But she followed. The hallway was filled with smoke. The fire must have reached the main level. Parts of the ceiling were falling. Flames licked the corners of the metal walls. Alarms flashed red and white, but no sirens screamed. Only silence and fire. The human led the way. He didn't look back, but somehow he knew she was behind him. They moved past a control room. Dead bodies lay on the floor, both alien and human. Signs of a brutal fight. Lorena stopped for a moment. Her old commander was there. Burnt. Silent. Gone. She didn't feel anything. A sudden noise, mechanical clicking, echoed from behind. Drones. The human spun around and pulled her close to the wall. He raised a small black device and placed it on the ceiling. It blinked once, then emitted a low hum. The drones passed by. They didn't see them. Lorena's eyes widened. It wasn't just luck. This man knew what he was doing. What's your name? She whispered. He glanced at her. Cole. Why me? She asked again. He didn't answer. They kept moving. The flames were getting worse. Heat burned their faces. Lorena stumbled once, but Cole caught her with one arm, steadying her. Finally, they reached a large door. Beyond it was the outside. She could hear the wind and distant explosions. Cole pressed a code into the panel. Nothing happened. Damaged, without a word, he stepped back and punched the panel hard. Sparks flew. The door hissed open halfway. He pulled at the rest with brute force. Fresh air rushed in. Lorena gasped. Her body wanted to collapse, but Cole lifted her up in his arms like she weighed nothing. Behind them, the hallway roared with fire. The roof began to fall. As they stepped out into the smoky field beyond the base, Lorena's vision blurred again. But this time, she didn't feel like dying. Not yet. Not while this strange, silent human still held her. Through the flames. The fire behind them didn't stop. It chased them like a monster, spreading fast across the dry field. Smoke wrapped around their bodies as Cole carried Lorena, his boots stomping through ash and burnt ground. Lorena tried to look back, but Cole whispered, "Don't." His voice wasn't angry. It was focused. Firm. He kept his eyes forward. Every step he took was measured, like a man used to walking through danger. The field had once been a training ground. Now it was filled with wreckage. Broken drones, shattered walls, pieces of ships torn apart. Alien tech sparked in the grass. Human gear lay half-buried in the dirt. The sky above them glowed red, not from sunset, but from flame and smoke. Enemy patrol ships circled high above like vultures. Lorena noticed one slowing down. "They're watching," she whispered. Cole nodded. "We don't stop." Suddenly, a loud hum filled the air. A drone had spotted them. Cole dropped to one knee and laid Lorena behind a large metal plate. She crawled behind it as Cole pulled out a black rifle. Not a military-issued one. This one was custom, marked with red tape and scratches like it had seen too many battles. The drone fired. Cole rolled and returned fire, hitting the drone once, twice. But it didn't fall. The third shot hit the power core. The drone exploded in midair. The sound made Lorena flinch, but Cole was already moving again. "Up," he said, grabbing her hand. She stood, still weak, but stronger than before. Something in her was waking up, something beyond fear. She wasn't just being rescued. She was part of something now. They moved fast toward a dark canyon at the edge of the field. Flames roared behind them, and more drones came closer from the west. Lorena looked at Cole. "We won't make it," she whispered. Cole looked calm. "Yes, we will." "How?" He tapped his belt. A small drone, shaped like a black beetle, flew out and zipped into the sky. It blinked once, then exploded in a flash of light so bright, even the sun vanished for a second. Lorena fell to her knees, covering her eyes. Cole didn't stop. "Keep going. The flash will blind the sensors." As they ran into the canyon, the world turned quiet. The sound of flames was gone. No more gunfire. Only their breaths, rough and fast, echoed through the narrow stone walls. Cole slowed down. Lorena leaned against the canyon wall. "Why did you come for me?" she asked. Cole didn't answer right away. He placed a small device near the entrance. It beeped, then blended into the rock. "You helped a human once," he said finally. Lorena blinked. "What?" "Years ago. My brother was captured. Your people were going to kill him." Cole's voice was low, almost broken. "Someone turned off the cameras for 5 minutes. He escaped." Lorena remembered. "You were the only one who didn't laugh when he cried," Cole added. "He told me. I never forgot." Lorena stared at him. "He was the one with the scar?" Cole nodded. "I was punished for that," she said. Cole's eyes darkened. "And they left you to die." She didn't respond. The silence between them felt heavier than before. Cole walked deeper into the canyon. He reached a rock wall and tapped 3 times. A hidden panel opened. Inside, an old tunnel. "How do you know this place?" Lorena asked. "I don't follow maps," Cole said with a half-smile. "I follow secrets." They entered the tunnel. The door shut behind them, sealing out the fire in the sky. Inside, the air was cold and wet. The walls were made of stone, but tech panels blinked from hidden spots. It wasn't a natural place. Someone built it long ago, someone who didn't want to be found. "Is this human?" Lorena asked. Half human, Cole said. A ghost base, built after the First War, then erased from all records. They walked until they reached a chamber with a cracked table, a power cell, and 2 old chairs. Cole sat down and finally removed his helmet. His face was scarred, tired, but his eyes were alive. Lorena looked at him closely. You're not a soldier anymore, are you? No, he said. Not since my brother died. Lorena looked down. I'm sorry. Cole shook his head. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here because someone left you behind, just like they left me once. He stood again and opened a small locker. Inside was a med kit, a map, and what looked like an old communication badge, alien tech. We're not safe yet, Cole said. They'll come for you. Why? Lorena asked. I'm no one now. Cole looked at her. You were High Command's bloodline. Your death was meant to send a message. If they know you're alive, they'll burn planets to find you. Lorena's heart sank. She had forgotten her name once meant something, now it meant danger. Then what do we do? She asked. Cole smiled slightly. We run, we fight, and maybe we light a fire they can't control. Lorena's hands curled into fists. Her silence had ended. The fire didn't kill her, and with Cole beside her, she wouldn't wait to die again. The path of ash, the old tunnel, stretched for miles deep under the scorched mountains. Cracks in the stone walls leaked cold air and ancient whispers. Lorena walked beside Cole, her legs still weak, but her spirit growing sharper. For the first time in years, she wasn't waiting to die. She was walking towards something, but she didn't know what. Cole said little. His eyes scanned every corner, every shadow. He knew danger could follow them at any time, and he was right. Halfway through the tunnel, Cole raised his hand. Lorena stopped. He knelt down and touched the ground. His fingers came up coated in black dust. Not just dust, ash. Someone else used this tunnel, Cole muttered. Not long ago. Lorena looked ahead. Who? Not friends. He handed her a small flashlight. Stay behind me. If I stop, don't move. If I fall, you run. Lorena didn't argue. She just nodded. They moved slowly now, step by step. The tunnel opened into an old bunker chamber, wide, round, with a collapsed roof above and shattered walls. Tech consoles sparked with broken light. Something had fought here, and lost. Then Lorena saw it. A body, not human, not alien like her, something else. Cole walked to it, crouched, studied the body. It had claws, metal wiring through its skin, eyes, still open, lifeless but glowing faint blue. What is that? Lorena asked. A hunter, Cole said quietly. Bioprogrammed, not natural. Someone's using forbidden tech. Lorena felt cold. That's outlawed across the galaxy. Exactly, Cole said. Which means someone broke big rules to put you in that cell. Lorena looked at the dead hunter again. It had her species symbol carved into its shoulder. Her breath caught. That's my family crest, Cole stood. Then this wasn't just punishment, this was extermination. Someone wanted your bloodline gone. Suddenly, a sound, soft, clicking, like claws on stone. Cole raised his weapon. Get behind that crate, he whispered. Lorena obeyed. Out of the darkness came 3 more hunters, alive, fast. They didn't speak, didn't pause. They attacked. Cole fired first. 1 shot to the eye. The first hunter dropped. The second lunged. Cole rolled aside, blasted its leg, then head. It fell. The third reached him, claws slashing. Cole blocked with his arm guard, but was thrown across the room. Lorena gasped. Cole hit the wall hard. The hunter turned toward her now. It moved like a machine, but its eyes were full of hate. Lorena backed away, step by step, until her foot hit something metal. A broken weapon. Her old energy blade, shaky hands, broken courage. But she grabbed it. The hunter leaped. She activated the blade and swung. The blade cut across the hunter's chest, and it screamed. Cole, bruised and limping, fired the final shot. The hunter collapsed beside her feet. Lyrina stared at her own hands. They were shaking, but they had just saved her life. Cole walked over and looked at her. "You fought." She looked at him. "I didn't want to." "But you did." She sat down, her body aching all over. "I was never a warrior. You are now." They rested for a while inside the ruined bunker. Cole patched his wounds. Lyrina cleaned the blade. Then Cole showed her something he had taken from the hunter's body. A small crystal drive. "Encrypted." "What's on it?" she asked. "Answers," Cole said. "Maybe names. Maybe the one who ordered your death." He opened a portable terminal and inserted the crystal. Text blinked onto the screen, and Lyrina saw it. Her sister's name. Her chest tightened. Her mouth went dry. "No," she whispered. No, she would never. But the proof was there. Orders, codes, payment logs. Her sister had signed them all. The hunters were sent by her own blood. Cole read the file. "She told the Empire you died. That she gave you an honorable execution. She took your place in the council." Lyrina's heart broke. "She was always jealous, but I never thought—" Cole looked at her gently. "What do you want to do?" Lyrina didn't speak. She stared into the ashes on the ground. Then she stood. Her voice was quiet. "I want to make her regret it." Cole smiled. "Then we move." As they left the ruined chamber, Lyrina glanced once more at the dead hunters, then at the ash on the ground. This wasn't just a path of escape anymore. It was the path to war. A warrior's secret. Cole and Lyrina walked in silence for over an hour. The tunnel behind them was now sealed with explosives, and the only path left was forward, through the winding maze of forgotten passages deep beneath the surface. Lyrina's fingers were still tight around the old energy blade. It was cracked and worn but felt alive in her grip, like a part of her that had been asleep for years. Cole limped beside her, his face pale but focused. The wound on his ribs had stopped bleeding, but it slowed him down. Still, he didn't complain. "You're hurt," Lyrina said softly. "I've been worse," Cole replied. She looked at him. "You don't act like a soldier." "I'm not," he said. "Then what are you?" Cole stopped walking. He looked at her for a long second. Then, without speaking, he opened the front of his jacket and pulled out a small tag hanging around his neck. It wasn't military. It wasn't even human. Lyrina's eyes widened. The symbol on the tag was from a lost warrior clan, one that was erased after the first galactic purge. "You're one of them," she whispered. "Not anymore," Cole said. "They're all dead. I'm just the shadow that escaped the fire." Lyrina's heart beat faster. The warrior clan he spoke of was feared across galaxies. They were not just fighters, they were ghosts, assassins, rebels, and they were wiped out. Or so everyone believed. "Why did they kill your people?" Lyrina asked. Cole looked away. "We refused to kneel." She understood. They kept walking until they reached a dead end, or so it seemed. Cole knelt and pulled up a metal hatch hidden beneath old rubble. Underneath was a small ladder leading down into a black hole. He went first. Lyrina followed, gripping, her blade tighter. The space below was a transport tube, a rail line built long before the war, now dead and buried. But it still smelled of oil and sparks. Cole walked over to a broken control box and pulled a wire from his belt. He connected. It then tapped his portable terminal. Lights flickered on. The tunnel lit up in long red lines. It stretched miles in both directions, untouched by time. "This was a rebel supply route," Cole explained. "We'll take it to the surface, but we stop halfway." Lyrina frowned. "Why?" "Because someone owes me," Cole said, his voice colder now. "And I'm calling in that debt." They traveled on foot through the transport tube. Along the way, Lyrina saw murals painted on the walls. Old symbols of rebellion, freedom, and fallen heroes. Some of the faces were human, some were alien, all were dead. Finally, they reached a sealed vault door. Cole knocked in a strange pattern. 3 fast, 2 slow, 1 soft. A slot opened. A pair of glowing eyes looked out. "You shouldn't be alive," a raspy voice said. "I am," Cole answered, "and I brought a ghost." The door opened. Inside was a hidden base, dimly lit, filled with scavengers and exiles. Most wore masks. All of them stopped what they were doing when they saw Lorena. Cole turned to her. "This is the outpost of the Forgotten. These people have no names left, just survival." An old woman stepped forward. Her body was small, but her presence filled the room. "You bring her here?" she asked. "The sister of the tyrant?" Lorena froze. Cole stepped in front of her. "She's not her sister, not anymore." The woman studied Lorena's face. Then she reached out and touched her shoulder. "Do you want revenge?" she asked. Lorena nodded. "No, I want justice." The woman smiled for the first time. "Then, we will help you." That night, in a dark chamber of the outpost, Cole sat alone, sharpening a blade. Lorena entered quietly and sat across from him. "You never told me your brother's name," she said. "Jace," Cole replied. "What happened to him?" Cole stared into the blade's reflection. "After he escaped your prison, he joined the resistance. He fought for peace. But peace doesn't last. Your sister's elite guard ambushed him. They tied him to a pole and lit him on fire while others watched." Lorena felt sick. "I'm sorry. You didn't light the flame," Cole said. "But you're the only one who stayed to stop it." Lorena took a deep breath. "Then let me finish what Jace started." Cole looked up. For the first time, something warm flickered in his eyes. Not hope. Not yet. But trust. "Then we need to send a message," he said. "One they can't ignore." The next morning, Lorena stood at a console with the old woman and Cole. A signal beacon was set to broadcast across the quadrant, using her voice. "Are you ready?" the woman asked. Lorena nodded. "Let them know I'm alive and that I'm coming." She pressed the button. The screen blinked. Her face appeared on every rebel frequency, every outlaw ship, every hidden terminal in enemy space. "This is Lorena of the Fallen Crest," she said. "They left me to die. They burned my name. They betrayed my blood. But I'm still here, and I remember everything." She paused, her voice steady. "To those who still fight, I will find you. To those who betrayed me, run while you can." The message ended. Cole smiled. Now the real war begins. The echo of betrayal. The signal had been sent. Lorena's face, voice, and message now floated across dead channels, pirate frequencies, and dark web military feeds. Her name, once erased, was spoken again in secret corners of space, and in the royal chamber of her sister's warship. Princess Kazari stared at the screen, frozen. Her golden eyes burned with rage as Lorena's message played on loop, her hands clenched into fists. "She's alive," a guard whispered. "You said she—" "I buried her myself," Kazari snapped, voice shaking. "I gave the order. I watched the footage." "Then who did we burn?" the guard asked. Kazari didn't answer. Her mind raced. "Find her," she said coldly. "Use every hunter, every spy, every drone. I want her dragged here alive." She turned away from the screen and stared into space. "And when she's in chains, I'll do it right this time, with my own hands." Far away, deep within the rebel outpost, Lorena felt the storm coming. Cole watched her from across the room. She had changed. No longer the frightened girl in a prison cell. She now moved with purpose. Her shoulders straight. Her eyes sharp. She was becoming something dangerous. "There's movement in Quadrant 9, Cole said. "Hunters are sweeping nearby systems." Lorena nodded. "They're coming fast." "Good," Cole replied. "Let them." But Lorena wasn't satisfied with hiding anymore. "I want to face her," she said. "Kazari, She stole my life. Let's take something back. Cole raised an eyebrow. Like what? Lorena looked at the hollow map in front of them. She pointed to a blinking mark. The Shadow Vault, she said. Cole stared at her, stunned. You want to break into the Empire's memory archive? Yes, Lorena replied. They locked away every record of my past. My family, my choices, my warnings, they erased it all. If we steal that proof, we can show the galaxy who the traitor really is. Cole rubbed his jaw. That vault's under ocean level, guarded by war drones and mine scanners. No one's ever broken in. Lorena looked him dead in the eye. No one like me ever tried. Cole smirked. You're getting scary. Lorena smiled for the first time in days. Good. The plan was insane. They would steal a ship, slip through Imperial patrols using stolen codes, and land outside the city of Ardenox, an Empire stronghold built into a cliff above stormy waters. Below it, hidden in the mountain's base, was the vault. Cole reached out to an old contact, an ex-pilot named Juno, who now ran a smuggler bar inside a rotting freighter orbiting a gas giant. You're asking me to fly straight into death, Juno said, sipping a dirty cup of moonshine. Yes, Cole replied. And you'll pay me with what? Cole looked at Lorena. She stepped forward, raised her sleeve, and showed Juno the royal marking burned into her skin, the crest of the first bloodline. Juno froze. You're her, he whispered. The dead one. Lorena nodded. Not dead. Not done. Juno stared at her for a long moment, then smiled. Okay, let's crash a party. The mission began at midnight. Under cover of a false mining code, they flew through the city's outer shield. Juno's ship rattled as they entered the airspace, but no alarms went off. Not yet. They landed on an old maintenance platform built beneath the cliff. As waves crashed far below, Cole and Lorena moved fast, scaling the narrow support beams that led to the vault entrance. Above them, drones circled like birds. You ever fall off one of these before? Lorena asked, whispering. Only once, Cole said. Didn't enjoy it. They reached the side hatch. Cole connected a bypass chip to the panel. Click. The door opened. Inside, the vault was silent. Cold, metallic, glowing with data streams that floated in the air like ghosts of memory. We only have 6 minutes, Cole whispered. Lorena stepped forward, reached the core terminal, and placed her hand on it. It scanned her. The system paused. Then, it accepted. Identity. Lorena. First, bloodline access level restored. Cole stared. They never deleted you. Lorena's voice was low, because part of her always feared I'd come back. She started downloading records. Voice logs, council meetings, letters, even old childhood footage. Her sister's lies were about to unravel then, a sudden hiss. Gas. The room filled with it. Trap, Cole growled. He grabbed Lorena's arm. Go, now! But the door had sealed. From the shadows stepped 3 Imperial guards, dressed in black, visors glowing red. You shouldn't be alive, one said to Lorena. Get used to it, she replied, and drew her blade. They fought hard. Cole took the first one down with a kick to the chest, then stabbed through his armor. Lorena danced between the other two, blade flashing. She was faster now, sharper. One soldier caught her arm, but she turned, broke his grip, and stabbed upward. The last soldier grabbed Cole and slammed him into a wall. The room shook. Cole! Lorena shouted. She jumped onto the soldiers, back, and stabbed straight through the visor. The guard collapsed. Cole coughed, bleeding. Lorena ran to him. Can you move? I told you, he said, smiling through pain. I've been worse. Alarms started screaming. The vault door cracked. Open they ran. Juno's voice buzzed through the comm. You've got 30 seconds. Get to the cliff edge now. They burst onto the platform. Imperial flyers swarmed the sky behind them. Jump, Cole shouted. What? Lorena gasped. Jump. He grabbed her hand. They jumped together. The wind howled. The sea rose. But just before impact, Juno's ship roared up from beneath the waves. Hatch open. They crashed inside. Safe. For now. Back in orbit, Lorena stood before a screen filled with files. "You sure you want to broadcast this?" Cole asked. Lorena nodded. "It's time they see what my sister really is." She clicked play. Across the stars, people watched the truth unfold. Recordings of Kazari ordering silent executions, stealing votes, framing her enemies. The Empire trembled, and somewhere in her warship, Princess Kazari watched in horror as her empire began to crack into the fire again. News of the data leak hit like a meteor. Across systems under Imperial rule, people stopped to watch, not just rebels, not just exiles, ordinary citizens too. They saw the secret orders, the fake trials, the twisted lies that Princess Kazari had built her power on. And worst of all, they saw the truth about Lorena, once called a traitor, now seen as the only one who had ever warned them. The galaxy began to whisper again. Her name had returned, but not everyone celebrated. Deep in the Black Sector, where broken colonies barely survived, Imperial warships arrived, not to search, but to punish. "Burn the weak ones," came Kezari's voice through the speakers. "If they host her allies, erase their worlds." And so, the fire returned. Inside Juno's ship, Lorena watched the flames spreading from orbit. Colonies were being crushed, children buried in ash, old rebels hunted again. Cole leaned over the console, jaw clenched. "She's going full purge." Lorena's hands shook. "Because she's afraid." "And cornered," Juno added. "This is her last move. She wants to burn the ground before you can step on it." Lorena stepped back from the screen, thinking, remembering her people, her history, the children who looked up to the stars and wished for peace. She had once been one of them. Now they looked up and saw only fire. "We go back," she said. Cole turned to her. "What?" "We take the message back to the heart, the capital, the council. They have to see what she's doing now." "You'll never make it into the capital," Juno warned. "Not without clearance codes." Lorena looked at Cole. "You have them, don't you?" she asked. Cole nodded slowly. "I have one, but it won't last long. We only need one chance." Cole studied her face. No fear, no doubt. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was leading. "Then we make it count," Cole said. The plan was death on paper. Fly into the capital's orbit, slip past the sentries, land near the Central Council Tower, and broadcast the final evidence before they could silence her. Juno flew low through the asteroid fields to hide their path. Meteors slammed past them. Fragments cut through shielding. "This is madness," Juno said, gripping the controls. "Good," Cole replied. "We're hard to predict when we're insane." They entered Imperial space under an old mining ship. Signature. The scanners lit up. "Brace," Juno shouted. A patrol ship hailed them. "Identify yourself," Cole answered. "Transport Unit 79er, hauling frozen tech parts." "Authorization code?" Cole typed in the stolen key. There was a pause. "Code verified," the patrol ship replied. Then silence, and finally, "You may proceed." Lorena exhaled. Her heart thundered in her chest. They passed through the shield gate. The capital world appeared before them. Tall towers reached toward the stars, made of glowing steel and pride. Floating cities hung in the sky like silent gods. And at the center, the council tower. They landed on a hidden platform beneath the structure. "We've got 10 minutes before they realize we don't belong here," Cole said, checking his gear. Lorena carried the data core strapped to her chest. The final files, the final proof. Cole and Lorena moved fast, through sewer grates, air ducts, then into the lower halls of the council. Every step closer to the chamber meant more cameras, more guards, more risk. But still, no one saw them. Until an alarm. "Unauthorized. Signal detected," a voice shouted across the speakers. Then came the boots. "Dozens. Run," Cole shouted. They turned a corner, but Imperial soldiers flooded the corridor behind them. Cole grabbed a smoke flare, yanked it, and threw it back. The hallway exploded in white mist. Lorena pushed forward, through the chaos, toward the elevator. That led to the top. A blast hit her leg. She stumbled. Cole turned, eyes wide. She shouted, "Go, send the message." But Cole didn't leave. He picked her up, again, the way he did that first day in the burning prison. They rode the elevator together. The doors opened into the chamber. The council stood in shock. Nobles, advisors, guards. Kazari was already there, waiting. "Stop them," she screamed. Guards raised weapons. Cole pulled his a standoff. "I have proof," Lorena said, her voice shaking but strong. "You've all been lied to. Your children have been burned. Your city's bombed. In your name." Kazari laughed. "You're a ghost. A broken relic. No one believes you." Lorena stared at her. "Then let's show them." She raised the data core. The council screens lit up. Footage played. Her sister ordering deaths. Faking her burial. Laughing over the ashes of rebel towns. The room fell silent. Kazari charged, a knife in hand. Cole blocked her, but she struck him in the side. He fell to one knee. Lorena screamed and tackled her sister. The two fell to the ground. Kazari slashed. Lorena blocked, then struck back. Blood ran. The sisters stared at each other. Kazari whispered, "You'll never win. They'll never follow you." Lorena's voice was low. "I don't need them to follow, just to wake up." Then she stood. Kazari lay still. The guards didn't move. The council stood frozen. Then, one member stepped forward, dropped his weapon. Then, another, and another. The Capitol fell silent. No more gunfire, no more lies, just truth, echoing across every screen. Outside, the people gathered. They had seen it all. A girl left to die, a warrior reborn, a tyrant unmasked. They didn't cheer. They simply knelt, in respect. Cole sat on the steps of the tower, holding his side. Lorena sat beside him. "You did it," he whispered. Lorena looked at the city. The smoke. The stars. "No," she said. "We did it." But then she looked beyond the clouds and her face grew serious. "We lit a fire," she whispered. "And now others will come to control it." Cole followed her gaze. Ships, unknown ships, arriving, and not all of them friendly. The rise from silence. The sky above the capital world burned with strange colors, red, green, violet, like war was painting its warning across the stars. The fleet was coming. Not Imperial, not Rebel, something else. From the edge of known space, dozens of ships had entered orbit. Long, silent, with armor marked by no flag. They didn't answer hails. They didn't speak. They just hovered, watching. Lorena stood. On the tower's edge, wind in her hair, blade at her side. The scars on her arm, one from a hunter, one from her sister, were now marks of survival, not shame. Cole limped beside her. He held his ribs, but his eyes were clear. "You think they're here for revenge?" he asked. Lorena shook her head. "They're here for power. Chaos calls to those who wait in the dark." A screen blinked to life behind them. The council chambers were in panic, leaders shouting, generals demanding orders. "What do we do?" one of them cried. "We have no army, no time." Lorena turned. "Then we do what my sister never did. We ask for unity, not control." Within hours, the message was sent across systems, not a command. A call. To those who still believe in peace, stand with us. To those who hunger for war, no, we do not kneel. The message reached old rebel bases. It echoed in hiding places. It even reached distant alien planets that once turned away in fear. And surprisingly, one by one, ships began to respond. They were small, damaged, outnumbered, but they came. The silent fleet in orbit finally moved. A beam of blue light fired from one of the strange ships, not as an attack but as a warning. It struck the side of a nearby moon and shattered it into dust. Cole stared at the screen. "They're not here to talk." Lorena looked at Juno. "Can we fight them?" Juno scoffed. With what? Angry stares? Then we buy time. Lorena said. And we make the galaxy choose. She walked into the council room. The room went silent. You have watched my people burn. You stood silent as my name was buried, she said. But today you saw the truth, and now I offer you a chance. A chance for what? A councilman asked. A chance to rise, she replied. She raised a hollow projection of the unknown, fleet above the city. Then another projection, rebel signals responding to her call. They think we are weak, she said. Let's prove them wrong. Hours later, Lorena stood at the front of the capital's only remaining defense room. Behind her were soldiers, exiles, volunteers, even civilians with old weapons. Cole handed her a small earpiece. This is it. All channels. They'll all hear you. Lorena put it on. She didn't shout. She didn't command. She simply said, I was left in a cell to die. They set fire to my name. They said silence was my punishment, but fire didn't end me. It forged me. If you're out there, if you hear me, this is your last chance to stand for something greater than fear. Stand for truth. Stand with me. For a moment there was nothing, just static. And then, voices. Hundreds, thousands. We hear you. Standing by. For Lorena. For the fallen crest, the enemy moved first. The silent fleet sent drones. Small, fast, deadly. They rained down like burning stars, but this time the people didn't run. They fought. Cole, though still hurt, led ground forces. Juno piloted a stolen Imperial fighter. Rebels dropped in from all angles, shielding the city. Lorena joined the front lines, her blade now glowing with a renewed energy. The first wave was stopped, but the second came harder. Enemy ships began dropping pods. Creatures inside, twisted half-machines screaming in code. They're not soldiers, Cole warned. They're weapons. Lorena stood her ground. Then we cut through them. She did more than that. She led the charge. With each step, she inspired those beside her. With every enemy downed, hope grew stronger. What started as survival turned into something greater. A movement. A storm inside the city. People who once feared her now shouted her name. Young girls drew the fallen crest on their clothes. Old warriors wept as they watched her stand alone before the charging enemy. But she was never truly alone. Cole fought at her side. Juno flew above, and the people rose. Together, the final ship descended larger than the others. It opened and a tall being stepped out. Not alien, not human. Something between. It walked forward without fear. Lorena stepped to meet it. Who are you? She asked. We are the Voidborn, it replied. We feed on collapse. We saw your flame and came to drink it. You will find no collapse here, Lorena said. Your people are weak. Lorena narrowed her eyes. They were, but now they have something you never will. What? A reason to fight. Then she struck. The final battle began. It wasn't fast. It wasn't clean. Many fell. But in the end, the Voidborn did too. Not because they were outgunned, but because they underestimated the fire of the Forgotten. Days later, as the city began to rebuild and the council swore to form a new order, Lorena stood before a monument, a statue of Cole's brother, Jace, the man she once saved in silence. Cole stood beside her. You think he'd be proud? She asked. He'd be shocked we made it this far, Cole replied. Lorena laughed, and for the first time, it didn't feel heavy. It felt free. Later that night, as stars lit the sky once again without fire, a new message was sent. This time, not from fear, not from rage, but from hope. We rise not because we are unbroken. We rise because we remember. This is the beginning, not the end. The silence is over, and we will never kneel again. Lorena of the Flame. The end.